All right, so good morning, and we are live again on our My Intentional Parenting Journey. And today we have the architect of our time. I think I like, there's something about me, an architect, right?
I know.
And Brenda is here. Brenda is going to be sharing her intentional parenting journey. We started this series on my intentional parenting journey with parents who have been in the academy because we want you to see what happens in the academy, people sharing their journeys specifically, themselves. And I think that's it's something that is, very interesting to note that everybody have their own journey, interesting journey. Brenda has an interesting journey. I'm going to let Brenda start this, conversation. So, Brenda, how did you get to know about the TIP program, the inner circle, and everything? How did you get here?
How did I get here? Very interesting story. So, I'm a mother of four. I have four children, and sometime last year, my daughter had just got into the teenage. She was like, she had just newly minted 13, but she was going on 18, with all the drama that comes with teenage. And I was really flustered. I felt that I was failing at this job because I didn't understand her. She didn't want to talk to me. She had even written notes that she hated me and her dad. She was counting down to when she would leave the house. And I was like, this cannot be how it's supposed to be. There has to be a better way. So I started to, read wide. I was looking for answers. I'd encountered Coach once before. I'd seen her book on Facebook, Connect to Correct. I had bought the book, but I had not read it. So it was on my shelf, gathering dust.
All the people that are keeping books on their shelf.
I have too many. God will help me. So it was on my shelf and it was gathering dust. I didn't know that was the solution to my problems. I was just here floundering, and I was literally in pain because while she was lashing out, I was like, what happened to my sweet baby girl? Like, we used to be very close, and said, what just happened to this child? And her father would be looking at me like, you see, I told you, you spoiled this child. Now look at it. And I'm like, hey, God. So it was not, of course, the bad child is the mother's one. So everybody, it was now my problem. And I was like, what do I need to do? So I went to God in prayer, and I was like, Holy Spirit, you have to help me. Like, I don't know what else to do. You just have to help me. And then from one day, I just saw this announcement that there was going to be a conference, the one that we had in Lagos, I think last year. And I don't know, I had never even really heard, apart from the fact that I bought your book, I'd heard you speak once or twice, but I had never really connected. But that day I was like, I'm going, and I immediately signed up. And I left everything I was doing. It was a Sunday afternoon. I can't forget. It was really difficult for me to get out of the things I had planned, but I was like, I will go for this conference. And I went. And the first speaker that spoke, I can't remember her name, was a woman. And she was talking about how, we are fighting children over hair, over this. And she was talking, I just started crying. I was in the front seat that day. Thank God. So nobody was seeing me. I was wearing my glasses and I was just crying. I was wailing uncontrollably. I was typing notes. I was writing notes. I was sending to my family chat group that you people should come and see what I'm seeing. Come and see what I'm seeing. And the next person that spoke, the ones that spoke, the girls coaches, then coach now stood up to speak. And I was like, hey, Holy Spirit, I know why you brought me here. In the middle of the program, I went to the back and I paid my 50,000 for the inner circle. Like there was nothing else I was waiting for. I did not even pay 5,000. They were like, we should pay 5,000. I said, no, I don't want to change my mind. This is the solution that I need. And I just paid immediately. While I was there, they showed me books. I bought all the books. I went to the back. U-Lesson was doing something. I paid for U-Lesson. I was like, is it money that will solve this problem? Let's do it. So I was just so fired up that day, and I paid. And I thank God that I paid, because maybe I would have later changed my mind. You know how it is that when you hear something, you're initially gingered, and then later just like, it's not really. So I was very glad that I paid that day. Next thing, they reached out to me and said, inner circle is starting. I was like, okay, let's go. And we started. And my goodness, it was, I don't know what I was expecting, but I was mind blown. It was nothing like I thought. I just kept on thinking, after the first one, I just kept on thinking, hello, you said this thing is for a year. I think I finished my money in this first month. I don't understand. As in, how is it not more expensive than this? As in, how is it that We're getting all of this in 1 month. In that first month, we had sat down, we had drunk our values. Coach had made us, she will push you, you must submit, you must. I was like, what manner of coaching is this? I was confused. And the tools, oh my God, my children loved it. They would wake up every morning. So, mommy, what are we supposed to do? Yeah, what did your coach say we should do? It was so exciting. And I was looking back to coming home from work every day because I had to do the tools. And I'm like, they're like, oh yeah, mommy, oh yeah, what are we supposed to do? Of course, my oldest daughter, which was the reason why I joined, was first of all very skeptical. She was not interested in doing the tools. The other three younger ones were excited and they were always ready to do it. They were like, okay, let's go. If you want to do family unity, she would look at us like, family Bible study. I was like, anyway, just sit down. Even if you won't contribute, just sit down, be there. You know how the word will fall on you no matter what, just be there. So I would make sure she sits down. We'll do what we have to do. And we continued. The children were so excited. When I would write notes to them, they would be like, oh, because I'm a writer, so I've always written notes to my children. So they are used to my love notes. So when it comes to those love note assignments, I will now write. So this time I now told them that, look, how did you feel when you got my notes? So like, oh, mommy, thank you. We really loved it. I said, so if you loved it, why don't you write back to me? They're like, oh, we never thought of that, And I said, yes, me too. I would like to receive your notes. The way you felt, I would like to feel that way too. And then the next time we did the love note assignment, they wrote back. And I was so excited. I was like, yes. I've taught people how to love me back. That's my love language. I love affirmations. I love, words. And so they wrote back to me. So little by little, we started to grow. Little by little, we started to get where we were. And then even the girl that was initially doing bragado, she started to, small by small, she started to open up. I was intentional about going out with her one-on-one, talk to me. Anytime I found myself alone in the car with her, she would talk. She would open her mouth and say, oh, mommy, I didn't like what you did about this. I didn't like what you did about this. So we would talk about it. So I now realized that we were even talking. So that was a big step because this child didn't want to talk to me before. She was always writing notes. I hate my mommy and daddy. I can't wait to get out of this house. All those kind of things. And it really used to affect me. But I just blocked my mind and said, you know what? As soon as I got to inner circle, they said, parenting is about you. Everything that your child has done wrong up to now, it was your fault. So accept it and correct it. I said, wow, this is a tough lesson. But I had to take it. That, okay, granted, anything that I see in this child that I don't like, it was me. We'll put it there because they came into the world as a blank canvas. So it's either by omission or by commission. Either I taught her something or I did not teach her something, and that's why she's where she is. So I now realized that it had to be a conscious effort of walking through what I wanted to see. And that for me was the greatest lesson in the inner circle. The learning that you have to, it is your fault and it is only you that can correct it. Learning that it's a humility walk. Children will talk to you. And unlike our parents, they will say, are you mad? Do it. Because I said to my children, will ask me why. And I had to come up with, convincing reasons for why. They would even give me counter arguments and we'll talk about it. And if I can get a higher argument, they will go ahead to do it. If I can't, I will listen to them and say, okay, what you've said makes sense. Okay, how about we do it like this? And then at the end of the day, they bought into the thing and they can run with it without you running up and down. I mean, I used to seize remotes. I would say no TV in the house. I would carry remote with me and go to work. The day coach said, if you are still shouting, if you are still there, I say you have not yet done. I say, hey, it's me you're talking to. Are you in my house? How did you know? We don't have to be having the conversations. Okay, guys, this is the reason why I say don't watch TV during the week. You need to do your work. You need to also rest your brain. You need to play. Then we bought Monopoly. My little one likes Paw Patrol. I saw a Monopoly that had Paw Patrol on it. He was won over every day. He wants to play Monopoly. We bought all the board games. We bought the puzzles. So they were now excited. Now he'll be the one bringing puzzles. Mommy, you promised to play with me instead of wanting to watch TV all day. And I realized that if you give them alternatives, they would take it. They're watching TV because they don't have anything else to do. Yes. I realized that they like to read books. I provided different books and they were reading and like, tell me the story. Like, mommy. I said, tell me, I want to hear. So as we're dressing for school, you're telling me the story as I'm doing something because I'm really busy. But I just realized that the quality time is what children need. Children don't need too much time. They just need focused time. Focused attention. If you're going to give them 1 hour, let it be focused. If you're going to give them 30 minutes, let it be focused. Not that 30 minutes that you're doing another thing and doing another thing, let them, they need to know that they're important. My children were so excited about knowing that, oh, when I come back from work, it's time for our tools. So they're like, what's the tool for today? What's the tool for today? They open, what did your coach say we should do today? I really remember the no yelling week. It was like, Hey, I received my own. My child said, Mommy, your coach said you should not yell. You are yelling. I'm like, it's you people that made me yell. Then coach now said, if you start to answer like that, you have failed. I was like, hey, God, oh, this coach used to be in somebody's house. Oh, yeah, I will not keep quiet. Swallow. It was a humbling experience. So, coach, very humbling. But, what I liked was the fact that you knew what you were talking about. Because every time you said something, I mean, I told a friend of mine about the inner circle, and she went to read about it. But she was like, "Oh, look, coach has young children. She cannot help me." And I was like, "Hello, my oldest child is older than her own children. But it's not about the age of the children. It's about principles. When somebody's teaching you principles, you will take it and run with it. She's teaching you how to think. And when you have the principles, you can think through those principles and amend them for yourself. So it's like, if you don't believe me, I mean, I thought you used to listen to me. That's why I'm talking to you. But if you don't believe me, it's okay. And go ahead, whatever you're doing. If you think that there's only people that have younger children than her that she can talk to because she's only seen that, I'm saying that this person is trained. It's not only her experience she's teaching us, and besides, she had experience even with an older child. She's done this even longer than her children. The woman was like, okay, I'm praying about it. If Holy Spirit leads me there, I'll go. I said, okay, thank you. And I've left her. But the other day I was talking to my sister. Anytime we talk, I realized that, we're aligning on several things. I didn't even know she was in the inner circle. Then we were chatting one day. I was like, how are you doing, Nantok? You've been so quiet. She said, I'm preparing for my TIP review. You are in the inner circle. How did we never share notes before now? I had no idea. But I always used to share our, weekly Tuesday lives in the family group. I was always encouraging them that, you guys, we have this program. She used to sign up for all the programs. I didn't even know she was a yada. And I would see her in all the back to school, everything. I'd be like, hey, my sister is taking things seriously. I didn't even know she was a yada. Yeah, I was thinking I was preaching to somebody. Hi, goodness gracious. It's just amazing when, you have the people in your circle believing the same thing with you, when you have the same set of values. I mean, I can send my child to her house now, knowing that, okay, she knows what we are looking for here. She knows what we're doing, and I'll be at my mind at peace. So I mean, this inner circle for me, I've told everybody, okay, me, I'm class captain, self-appointed class captain of level 1. Self-appointed. However, I'm going to redo this level. And it's a decision that I had already made peace with before I met with coach for a review. And as I told them in my group, because, we have this group that we do our book review with, we've become very close. They've told admin that we are moving, if we're all repeating, please put us in the same group. We want to be together again. We've really become close. And like I told them that day, I said, if you're told to repeat, please don't be sad, don't be afraid, this is a decision I have reached by myself, even before I spoke to coach, because like coach said, in doing the review, you will tell yourself the truth. And except you don't tell yourself the truth. In putting together, I saw that this was a very rich curriculum. I saw that there was some that I had missed. There were some that I hadn't been intentional about. I also saw that there were the ones I had been intentional about, but I did for 2 children and not the 4. I saw that there were some things that, yes. And then I looked through my goals at the beginning and I saw that, okay, there was something I had missed that I could have been more intentional about. And they taught it in the inner circle. Where was I that day? As I asking myself, I say, okay, you know what? Let's just do it again. And in doing it again, I have a proper mindset of what was expected. So unlike before, when I was thinking, it's too much now. I'm overwhelmed. How can I do this every day? Does coach think I have a life? I have a job. I have 4 children. No. I can't do this. I was
and talking about it, Brenda is actually a very busy career mom. So Brenda is not just a career mom. Brenda is also, a business person. Brenda is also a writer. Brenda writes children's books. All right. In fact, amazing work that she does. As in those books. Sometimes I look at the books that people are writing today. I'm like, why was I not a child? As in, where were all these people when I was a child? What was the meaning of that? We were teenage and all of that. We were not reading anything playful, as in, and you know how teenage hard on you when you're reading book and all of that. By the way, you can invite your friends, your family, tag them so that they come and listen to this journey, my intentional parenting journey. We're here every morning 8, throughout the month. We want to actually bring people who have walked this journey to tell you the story. It's a bit somehow when I say, so there's one parent, her name is this happened to her. You're going to say, she's just trying to market this thing to us. Do you know that last year when we did the inner circle, we had about 1,000 parents come on board? for last year, the parents in the inner circle accused me that the inner circle was not well marketed. In fact, they say, Coach, you don't talk about the inner circle a lot. And we have a problem with that because it's as if you're trying to seclude, what people should learn. It's as if so I told them at first, I said, at first, like I said, when I was having a session with Etima yesterday, I said that when I started the inner circle, my mindset was I'll just lead about 1,500 parents who just want to walk this journey, who understand where they are going. I didn't know what was coming for me. Now we have over 2,000 parents in the inner circle, something I'm grateful for. But, one of the things that, would actually, I would actually have to, pay attention to at that time when they were saying, Coach, you didn't market the inner circle well. Tell the team that you talk about it well. Do everything you can. Let people hear about the inner circle because it's a solution for many homes. And, so this year, we decided that we're going to market the inner circle. So if you heard me, throughout this year, we're talking about the inner circle. That's the first that we're talking about the inner circle all through, during the conferences, because when we shut the door for the 1st of December, we will not open it so that nobody comes back to come and tell us, I didn't hear. Oh, you did not tell me. I didn't know where I was and all that. So that's what we're pushing the message. And that's what we're telling you. Please, you need to push out to your friends or family. Share this link. Let them hear. So that tomorrow, I have seen people that the inner circle have turned around their lives. I am not, it's not, I'm not saying it because it's me. Brenda is here. And, I'm talking about turning a life. I'm talking about turning around a child or turning around your parenting journey. I'd like Brenda to share with us, a particular thing that's happened on her journey that is very significant. Brenda has shared reviews, testimonies. Like she said, she's the class captain of, level 1C, active, amazing. And like I said, Brenda is also very busy. So when I hear parents say, oh, I'm very busy, I cannot do this, I laugh. I have captains of industries right in the inner circle. I'm going to bring you, I think I'm going to bring during the week of the review, one of the gospel celebrities in Nigeria who is also in the inner circle, come to share her journey and how she even got into the inner circle. Amazing story. I will leave it for that day. All right, just follow this. So Brenda, share with us, what is one of the most significant things that happened to you while in the inner circle?
For me, it was, there are a lot, as in, I don't know, each child has their own significant growth testimony. And I want to start with my last baby. My last baby was about 4 when we started, and he was struggling with reading. In fact, I didn't even know. I didn't notice. You know how it is now. In my mind, I didn't know what he was supposed to know at the time. And because of COVID, he had been at home during his 3-year age, and that's the age where they actually start active reading, but he was at home, and that was the lockdown year, and so even when the school reopened, I went there and I said I did not like their protocols, and so I kept my child back, for one more term until my husband got COVID and we're all stranded at home. And I said, so even as we locked ourselves inside the house, we still got COVID. In fact, be going to school. So I released him back to school. So a friend of mine now shared the reading of her child, and her child was 6 weeks older than mine. And I was like, your child is reading like this. I said, okay, I know that some children are geniuses, but my child cannot even string 2 words together. What are you saying? I went to the school. I said, excuse me, is this normal? This boy is not reading. And, I think children, they say, oh, yes, so the classmates are reading. I said, and how is it that nobody called my attention to it? What is this? Okay, ma, please, can you keep him over every day till 4? We'll do special lessons. I said, you better do special lessons with him. I mean, this is your school he's been in since he was born. So, I mean, he doesn't have any other school. So everything he knows is people that talk to you better do it. And they're like, okay, you have to help us. I said, I will help you. Tell me what to do. So teacher was sending home sound cards. Read this with him. And so we're doing our own at home and all of that. And then after a while, I wanted to change his school. So we went to a new school where his brother was attending, because his school is just preschool. And we did a test. They told him to write 1 to 100, A to Z. My son wrote 1 to 100. He's very good in numbers, naturally. When he got to A to Z, he wrote A, B, and he stopped. And they said he should write. He said he's tired. They said, okay, go for a walk and come back. Continue. He wrote H. He did not know how to write A to Z. He was 3 years old. And I was traumatized when I saw the result. I carried it to the school. I said, look at the child people have given me. He's not ready for another school. Please work on him. And in that 1 year, I entered the inner circle. So when the coach started telling us about, reading, I would make this child, I'll sit down with him, I'll read with him, I'll read to him. I was doing the sounds. Then I discovered that, he likes crosswords. So when coach told us about crosswords, I now formed crosswords for him in learning the 3-letter words. He was so sharp. He picked the skills. He was doing it. I was like, there you go. I created crosswords for this boy. And I was on his case every day. I bought a whiteboard. I'll put the 3-letter words. As I come home from work, read to me. He will read everything to me. The next day, I'll put a fresh letter word, a fresh 3-letter words. Next thing, 4-letter words. The next thing, I bought some books. I went to the Ebano bookstore and I got some books. 1C, 1B. I bought the whole series. My son started to read. And I was screaming. I was like, what is this? Like, it only took focused attention on this child. By the time he was graduating from his preschool, he was Mr. Clever. Then he went to that school where he wrote the first test the year before to write an entrance test now to year 1. This time the test was harder. Full working. There was comprehension. There was everything. My son wrote everything. He got 100 in his numeracy. He got 87 in his English. And I was like, wow. I screamed. I said, Coach, come and see what crossword and reading has done to my child. And it was just unbelievable. He had also learned to be so independent. He was able to speak. When he got there, he was speaking. He was asking. They were like, Madam, who is this child? The whole school knew that somebody had come that day. And I was like, yes, that's my inner circle baby. Yes. I was so proud of him. So that's the growth, massive growth from that, my youngest son. The one older than him, he didn't know how to tie his shoelaces. With nannies coming, nannies going, and all of us rushing to school every day, I didn't realize that we're the one tying his lace for him and baiting him by himself. The boy was turning 9 and he could not bait himself. He could not brush his teeth. He could not. I said, what have you been doing, Oluwa? When I started hearing, when you hear the reviews from Inner Circle, somebody say my 8-year-old cooked, my 9-year-old did. I'm like, yeah, my own 9-year-old cannot bath, wahala. And I dragged him, let's go. So I had to be focused with him as well. I had to make sure that, okay, every evening he was bathing himself. I'll watch him before I moved him to bathing himself in the mornings, brushing himself. I bought him shoes that had laces. He had no single shoe with buckle. He was lacing his shoe morning, afternoon, and night. Church, everywhere. He was like, Mommy. I said, you will lace it. You will lace it. If it takes you 3 times, you will do it. And I realized that I was always quick to jump in to help him in the past. But now, all I had to do was just to watch him and watch him fail. There was something in watching him fail, then showing him again, giving him the chance to try again. And when he did it, it's like, I did it. The excitement in showing that he did it was even something that was, very fulfilling for me. So I was just thankful that I learned the tools that I needed to give him the independence that he needed. And the best and the greatest of all the testimonies for me, my daughter, the first one, the one that carried me to Inner Circle. I told you she wasn't talking to us. She didn't want to see us, but she got so bad with the pain and everything that was going on with her, it started to affect her academics. And I know she's not a dull child. And I was like, what will we do with this girl? So I knew that it wasn't lesson teacher that we needed. We just needed to connect. We needed to, resolve her emotions, and everything else would work. So I got a mentor for her. Coach, you always talk about mentors. Their school have a mentoring system, and I got the lady she was working with is an older woman, a grandma type of woman. I went to go and switch to a younger lady whom she had connected with. That one went to speak to her. She liked her, so I asked to switch to that lady. Then that one was giving me feedback every day. She was opening up to her. She was talking to her, and that was guiding her right. The next thing I did was to put her in an after-school club where she was free to be herself. They taught her how to read independently. I felt that she did not need lesson teacher per se, not lesson teacher for math, but what she needed was, how to teach her to read for herself. So she learned goal setting and all of those things, and they just worked miracles on this child. Do you know that when this girl finished her GSCE, they wrote to us. I saw her result. I was confused. I was like, is it my child? I don't know how to explain this thing. This girl had in her first term of GS3, she had 9 Fs. 9. How many subjects are they doing? Somebody will have 9 Fs. I saw the result. I was like, I just folded it. I went to go and hide it. First of all, the father must not see this. I said, let's start planning what we are going to do about ourselves. So I started talking to her. I believe in you. I know you can do it. See, okay, what are the subjects? So let's work out a plan for how we're going to attack these subjects and do better. By the time this girl wrote GSCE, she had 2 Bs and then Cs in all the other subjects. The only thing that she had an F in was in Yoruba, and we're not Yoruba, so I don't blame her. I can't even pass the Yoruba myself, so that was a non-issue. So, and I was like, even the school recognized, and she got a prize for most improved. And I was like, you're getting on the stage. She was like, oh my God. It was something that she had never expected. She looked at herself like she was not bright, she was not anything. But she got on the stage, for most improved award. And I was like, look at this. This shows you that once you put in the work, you can get the rewards and you get all the recognition. All my friends, my parents, my mom, my sisters, everybody sent her gifts. She was happy for 1 week. She was like, is this what it takes? I said, yes, this is what it takes. So it was it was a mind shift for her. Like, oh, if I put in the work, I can get rewarded and I will get recognition. And she was suddenly like a changed person. As she entered SS1 now, we don't talk to her. She gets to her book, does her things herself. She's so motivated. And so I'm like, look at my child, And she talks now. She talks to us, talks to her dad. She's so excited about, So we built the connection, even though it was a little tough. It was a little harder than for the younger ones who were just happy to talk to mommy anyway. But hers was a work in progress. So now what we're doing as I'm redoing the level now is to work on the executive functioning skills. I'll take them one after the other and make sure,
But you're going to begin to confuse a lot of people when you start saying executive functioning
They
skills.
need to come and learn to know how. And you need to throw the jargon so that they will say, these people are not playing here.
As Brenda is saying executive functioning skills, I'm sure a lot of people in the comment section will be wondering, what is
that again?
Talking
come
about?
and learn in dinner circle.
Come and build executive functioning skills.
Yes, so
thank you so much, Brenda, for sharing your story. And if you're right in the comment, we are live with Brenda. I don't like pronouncing Brenda's surname, I don't want to, because I have a thing for not wanting to murder people's names. So
it's very simple. I can teach you today.
Please.
You'll never forget it again. It's Unuavworho. Enahoro. So like Enahoro, it's Unuavworho. Very simple.
Okay.
It doesn't look as simple when you're reading it, but
oh, Unuavworho. Okay. So this is Architect Brenda Unuavworho with us, and she's sharing her intentional parenting journey. We started a program yesterday where parents who are in the inner circle, who have a journey, who have a story. Every single parent in the inner circle have a story. There is no one parent. In fact, I told somebody that even if you're just in the inner circle doing nothing, you're just looking at what other people are doing, you will change. Is that big?
Yes.
So you don't even need to, you just be there and you're looking. Something will trigger, something will change. By the time you see 1, 2, 3 people share their reviews, you're going to say,
Is the story you hear that will make you say, what am I doing here?
What am I doing?
Can't bridge. Yeah, my children, gather.
Yeah, let's go. In fact, sometimes those parents share those stories, like the parents of toddlers who share. You see 4-year-olds making spaghetti. In my mind, I'm like, I told them that it's 10 years my children started cooking. This children. So that's what teaches you that the principles are the same. The principles are the same. It's about principles. And it's so honoring to know. Brenda, yesterday I was in a session with Madam Diana Smith. We're also going to be live with her. Madam Diana Smith is from Trinidad and Tobago, from the Caribbeans, and she is 76 or 77. I can't remember. She's in the inner circle.
Wow.
At my review yesterday, I said to her, and I just said, how would young people be saying,
be perfect?
I don't want to learn.
She can't teach me anything.
I was looking at her. She will be we have about 5 grandparents in the inner circle. And, she's not Nigerian. She said, I just saw you. And I started to think to myself, why won't I even learn to help my children and also help my grandchildren? She said, today you need to see my grandchildren. You need to see. She said, because the way I parented, there were a lot of things that were wrong. And I believe that I need to learn something more. Somebody who is almost, my husband was in the academy. We lost him this year. Interestingly, we lost him 2 months ago. And do you know when we talked about the couples conclave, being able to work on your marriage? Madam Diana Smith and her husband went to the couples conclave in the marriage seal.
Wow.
I was tripped.
Wow.
I mean, they went to go and learn about marriage from my husband. I was looking at her.
70 something. Wow.
And I said, so what? She said, we needed to model those things you're saying, model. We believed it was not too late. And she said to me, even though my husband died after about a few months we joined the conclave, there were things our children saw that will live with them forever. And I'm
Absolutely.
so glad that even if it's just 6 months, I was able to show
Mm.
them this. I am so glad that this
Wow.
actually, happened. We're going to get her to, in one of the series, to come and share her
Wow.
intentional parenting journey. There's also Daddy David Ademi. His first son is his first son should be 26 or so. And he said something
Mm.
to me that struck me. He said, if I have made mistakes yesterday, should I now continue to make mistakes?
Oh, just
That,
make a correction.
that thing just, blew my mind. I said, Coach, I am with you forever. My grandchildren, until I die, they say I'm no longer alive. I will stop. He said, even in church, now he's motivated to teach younger people in church. He's
Mm-hmm.
motivated to talk to people around him. He feels that he has something to offer.
Yes,
So
yes,
he has
yes,
something
yes.
to offer. And that for him, that's even more fulfilling. He said, I'm almost 70, and hey, I am here learning. And when I see young people arguing that they don't need to learn parenting, that it pains him. He said he's particularly pained
It's
when he,
painful.
all of that. Funny enough, we have a lot of older parents, interestingly. We have a
Oh,
lot of older parents who have older
oh,
children. We have Madame Nse. Madame Nse has been, she's in Canada. I think she's also going to come on this series.
mm.
And she has, her marriage is 22-year-old marriage. And, she said to me, she and her husband, she was teaching at the time. Her husband came to her and said, whoever is this your coach, I want to also submit myself to the learning process.
If I'm seeing the changes,
Because
because
I've seen,
results don't lie.
it's so real. And that's one of the things that I particularly love the inner circle about, the tangibility of the result. When I
Yeah,
see those results, so it's not theory. For parents who are asking, what are we? We're not telling you theory. You will do the do. And if you don't, I'll come for you.
it's wahala. So it's, my mom will say, use your own money to buy wahala.
Yes. I will come for you. Somebody said, oh, she attended a coaching program, parenting coaching program, that after 2 months of giving them what to do, it was supposed to be an another program. They never saw the coach again. All,
Ah,
the coach did was just, the team would just send what they should do and all of that. I smiled, when the person was asking, are you sure that after 1 month we'll not see you? I said, me. I say, I
Abi
don't
will
think
be chasing
I,
me.
I don't think you're as passionate for your children as I am. I think I'm more passionate for your children than you are, actually. And the person was looking at me like, as in, are you serious? I'm like,
Ah,
you're going to be chased,
I don't know
to the
what I expected, but my mind was completely blown. I don't know. Completely blown. As a matter of fact, I said I was going to come and see you later because I sat down and I started looking at the whole structure of the inner circle. I'm like, how did she even think about this? Like,
Hmm.
how did you come up with this? It was because I saw the step by step and how, month on month, you are learning one thing today that is laying the foundation for the next thing next month, for the next thing next month. And it was all just tying together. And I was like, and the precision with which the admin used to drop our tools. They can't even forget one day. I'm like, who are these people? It was the excellence for me. It was the precision. I was like, who are these people? And for me, that ministered even more than what we learned. I was like, you know what? I have to listen to these people. They know what they're doing. These are people are not joking. I mean, my children had the best Christmas ever. We sat down, we created Christmas. My sister's children were
Oh,
with
we
us.
can't wait for the intentional parent Christmas
Ah,
here this year.
Christmas, and I'm turned to birthday mama. I have 3 children born in February. I have back-to-back birthdays in February. So I curated birthdays arrangement for them. First of all, you wake up to breakfast, your own special breakfast, whatever it is that you like, everything that the things that you used to ask me that I'll be like, no, I'll set them up for you. You have a box of gifts from every member of the family. You put it there, and so it was a tradition that we now started. When I
Started.
am sharing with my friends, they were like, everybody was reaching out to me, Brenda, please teach me. How can I reach my children? Oh, how can I say, come and join the inner circle. This knowledge is not follow come. It was something, I learned it somewhere. And so, I had to convince all of them that come and learn. And what the inner circle does for you is it helps you to think,
Okay, I don't know
right?
if it's me or if it's
Okay.
Brenda that is frozen.
You were frozen for a bit, but you're back now. I can hear you now.
Okay, so it was me. All right, go
Yeah.
ahead, please.
Okay, so I was saying to them that, they came to start asking me, oh, how can I make my daughter's birthday memorable? How can I make my child's this memorable? How do you do it? I said, look, These things are things that I learned from interacting with the inner circle, because it gives you, when it gives you tools, it gives you principles, and it now teaches you how to think. So you can now think and modify it and come up with even better, you know. And so you will not start looking like a superstar.
And I think that's it for me, coming up with even better. So I share something with the parents in the inner circle, and they run with the way they run with it. Sometimes I'm like, Chineke, what did I just see? I saw a parent tell me when we're talking about teaching skills, executive functioning skills, and a parent paid in the laundry place for the son to go and learn how to do laundry. When this parent did level two, when the parent came to me, I said, eh? I said, you have even given me insight. Look at you. I said, and that's one thing about the inner circle. It's not even about you teaching. It's about you. For me, it's about me learning.
Yeah.
It's about all of the things that we're learning.
Modifying it for your family to suit yourself and your own particular needs. Take the principles and modify it to suit your own particular needs. That's it for me.
I think I'm frozen again.
Yeah, but I can hear you now.
I want to be sure.
You're still frozen, but we can hear you.
I think I am frozen again. Brenda, can you hear me? I was frozen again.
Yes, I can hear you.
I was frozen again.
Yes, the picture is even still frozen, but we can hear you now. I wonder why.
Okay. I don't know why. Okay, so you just see people run with the things that have been shared, and dissect it in such a way that even you're wondering, man, see the thought process.
Because the idea is to take what you have learned and modify it for your own use. Because if you don't implement it, you're
how
shooting
the parents
yourself
are able to think through beyond what they are given. Okay.
Absolutely. Our network today is giving us grief. Okay, it's better now.
Yes, perfect. I had to change my network.
All right.
We live in Nigeria, and
we always have backup on backup.
One of the things that for me, that's the awesome thing. You go to level 3. Oh, those level 3 yadas they are professionals. You go there and then you put 1, 2, 2, 3. They will say, "Coach, we do it this way, this way, this way, that way." They bring out a template that, in fact, you're like, wow. Like, for me, it's the thinking. It's the thinking that the inner circle makes you to think. That's it for me. So people think is just copy and paste. No, it is a place where it gets you to actually begin to think. And we're also going to have the Iswekens, come on this series as well. I can see Mr. Chris Isweken here. The Iswekens are, one couple, that have done amazing with their child. Their child is a toddler. Their journey is inspiring. I see young people, young couple, young people that have toddlers.
I'm beefing them. I'm beefing them. Well,
I wake up in the morning, I'm like, hi, this toddler parent. Oh my God.
I beef them.
I beef them. It's only you. I'm really beefing them. So Brenda, tell us about the wealth of resources that is also available in the inner circle. How are you able to use them? Were they useful to you? And what when I talk about the wealth of resources, I'm also talking about the human resources, the people we meet, the things, the tools that the team is also able to share with you. What were you able? What were you guys? How was it for you?
The wealth of resources, that is really the word, wealth, because the resources available in the inner circle are like mind-blowing. First of all, from the first journal that you're given when you come, it's looking like how will I fill this big journal? But in between, as we go along, as they teach you different topics each month, there's sometimes the coach teaches something and she's like, you know what, I need to do a webinar to explain this. And we're like, oh yeah, let's go. We go into YouTube. She explains this. Before you know what's happening, the admin is sending you a template and like, who are these people? They say, no, hold on. They bring it back. They say, let me give you an editable PDF so you can just work on it and just be going. And I'm like, I beg. But the interesting thing is how you're able to break down schedules. You're able to break down what we're taught into simple schedules that you can actually modify for yourself. I mean, I saw templates that made me think through the processes of my children. before I used to set goals, right? I've always set goals. In fact, I teach people how to set goals. But when I saw that template that they sent to me, when they broke it down, like the way they breaking down of that template, as in setting goals for each child, I had to print that sheet 4 times, one per child. Oh, yeah, let's go. I set goals for them in different angles, spirituality, this skills, that skills. I had to, and I sat down, I was looking at the documents, and I was preparing for the review. I looked at the document and I knew the people that had not worked and the ones that had worked. And I said, okay, let's go and redo this class. There's no point, don't deceive yourself. But there's so many reasons, even the books. The books are so well picked out that as you are reading them, you are connecting with the topic for the month and you're seeing exactly, there's some things that I never even knew, some books I never even knew existed. Granted, some of the books are from Coach, some of the books are from foreign authors, some of the books are from other Nigerian authors, and you're like, where have these books been all my life? We have that raising boys and raising girls.
Oh,
Ah,
CIP Bible.
ah. I'm like, where has this guy been all my life?
Mm.
And then the master classes, the first that one of childhood trauma. If you have not, all of us, we all went through trauma. Nigerian parents, all of us. If don't deceive yourself, your parents were even better than some, but there's still some level of trauma. Go and do that course, because the childhood trauma course was able to unearth a lot of things. I mean, I was holding on to some pain against my mother for many years that I didn't realize. As a middle child, I felt ignored. Right? I felt ignored. I felt like nobody noticed me. They were either the first son, first daughter, last born, the other one that looks like mommy. I didn't look like my mom. I really wanted to look like my mom. They used to tell me I look like my dad. I'm like, no, I want to look at my mom. My mom is pretty. I had a lot of trauma as a child, so I started to act up just to get attention. So I was always so conscious about, making sure I give attention to all of my 4 children. I didn't want anybody to feel like they were not attended to. So when my daughter started to say this and that and this and that, I was so pained because I was like, this is me that has always been intentional about giving attention to children. So there's so many resources, so many courses. The back to school masterclass blew my mind. Like when I took that one, I immediately sat down and drew timetable for the children of how we are going to be studying with each other. There's so many things that you just learn. So how they say, if you don't know what you don't know, you don't know where to start from. There's so many things you don't know that you don't know. But in the inner circle, with the curated curriculum, with the targeted classes, the master classes, the inner circle webinars, the books of the month, everything is targeted to lead you to that level of knowledge. So even if you miss it, go and watch. Don't be missing replay. When they tell you go and watch replay, you'll be thinking, like me, I hate replays. I'm one of those people that hate replays. I just feel like I'm going back in time. If I've missed the moment, that's it. I'll just keep it going. But I realize in inner circle, you don't miss replays. Go back and watch it. Otherwise, you're missing a whole chunk. So I had to learn and consciously make myself available for some of the classes, and the ones I'm not available for. On my drive back home, I play the replay. As I make sure I don't miss it after. If I miss it that day, it will be hard to come back to. So it's a conscious effort, a conscious decision to just do what you have to do per time. And I learned something about overwhelm, because it seems like it's a lot they're teaching us. It seems like you're being fed with a lot of resources. But guess what? You're only overwhelmed if you do not implement them. So when you say, okay, I'll do this one tomorrow, they'll not bring another one. That one has come, and that one has come, I've not even done the first one. They put 5 more. Where do I start from? I bet this thing is too much. I'm not even doing it again. But if you're doing it per day, as it's given, because it's 2 for the day, just be doing it as they're giving 2. I'm busy. Yes, I live in Lagos. Lagos traffic is mad. It's horrendous. I have 4 children. They go to 2 different schools. I have a 9 to 5. I have businesses that I'm doing. But guess what? The first mantra in the inner circle is, I have time to parent my child. If you cannot say it with your full chest, just be going. There's nothing we're going to do with you. You can't come at coach with her too busy. She's busier than you. See her now, she's inside this one. Before she enters this one, she went and she'll go and do reviews with parents. She will not still do Tuesday live. She will still do. You are busy. How? Who are you busy for? Okay, are your children more important than what you're busy doing? It's about creating priorities and arranging yourself. Like I always say, focus time. Find the focus time. If it may take you waking up 1 hour earlier or taking you going to sleep 1 hour later, but find that 1 hour which you're going to spend with your children to move them forward.
Oh, talking about waking up 1 hour later, I had bankers in Lagos in the inner circle. Inner circle parents can give you joy. As in, who just arrange their arrangement. One of them said to me, Coach, I didn't know I could have a resourceful time in my day like this. You
Yeah.
know.
Just find the time. There's time. There's time for whatever you deem important. If you think is important, you make time. If you don't think it's
Yeah.
important, you give excuses. So if you
I
find yourself
agree.
giving excuses, just tell yourself, okay, this is not important enough. And I don't know what's more important than your children, like the life that God gave you to hold. Me, I'm even asking myself why I born up to four self. I don't know, but here I am. I have to do the work. I've got to do the work.
Thank you so much, Brenda. You know her role. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really do appreciate your time. I don't take it for granted.
I
I
love
love
you.
Yadas. Yadas have a special heart in my heart. So
We
people
love
say
you
I'm very
too.
passionate about these Yadas, and I say, I have to be, partial. I'm sorry. That's how it is. I just have to be partial. These parents give, they give it what you're looking for. You see people that, you're saying, oh, this is how this should actually run. And these parents are running. In fact, before you drop something, you find out that as you're dropping it down, bam, these parents are running with it. So, Brenda, share
Absolutely.
with us what would be your advice to parents who are listening to you now.
Parents, first of all, the Yada parents have a different advice from the non-Yada parents. If you're not a Yada, go and sign up. Like your life will thank you for it. Now, there's something that structure does to your life, because first of all, the inner circle will teach you structure. You know how you're always all over the place. You're thinking that, oh, I'm overwhelmed, that the work is too much, this, Nigeria is tough and everything. But when you have structure, you have a plan, you have something to follow. You can actually have a direction and you see progress. So there's nothing as good as that. So if you're not in the inner circle and you are here, just sign up. If you don't have money, go and borrow and be paying the person small small. But sign up. You need to. Your life will thank you for it. It's. I don't know how to explain it. There's so many other small ones that I do not even. That I don't know how to articulate. So many other small wins. So many other big wins. I don't know how to articulate, because how many will I see in this 1 hour life? I don't know. But there's just so much that it does to you. It changes your life. I mean, my parents, everybody will call me and say, I thank you. I see what you're doing with the children. Well done, what you're doing with the children. Even my husband said to me, I like the way that I'm seeing these children doing it. My sons enter kitchen willingly, happily. They are climbing this stool. My son climbed this 5-year-old climbs with stool to be turning the food. Mommy, they now said that, Daddy, we made your food for you today. My sons made KFC chicken the other day, start to finish. They found the recipe online. They gave me the list of what to buy. They mixed the flour, mixed everything. So the only thing I did was to stand near them when they were putting inside the oil, that because I cannot shout. And that's it. They made the chicken themselves for the Sunday meal. So they are eager, they're excited, they want to do these things. And if you miss that moment and that time when they're eager, you have a harder time. See me struggling with the older ones now. They're like, I'm not interested. No, thank you. So we find ourselves doing bargaining. Okay, let's do this now so that we can do this, so that it's tougher with older ones. So if you
Yeah.
have younger children, start now. Start now. Your life will thank you for it. You will see your results and you'll be like, oh, wow, are these my children? People will be calling you outside in school. You get to school, oh, are you Kobiro's mommy? Oh my God, I love that boy. Oh, what have you done? You well done. You're doing well with that child. I get it all the time. And it's nothing new. It's nothing that I don't know how to put it. It didn't come with me from heaven. It's structure that I learned. It's structure that I learned. So if you're not in the inner circle, please go and join. If you are in the inner circle, please be focused. Take this lesson seriously. Like me, some of them are like, this one doesn't concern me. Some of them that teach him like, this one doesn't concern me. Let me do the other one. But guess what? Through something, some of the conversation will not concern you. Like if she's talking potty training, it won't concern you, right? I don't have any child that's not potty training. But if you look beyond every conversation, there's always something you can pick. So even in the potty training conversation, I don't have children that are being potty trained
Yes.
anymore. There's always something you can pick that
Yeah.
can help your present status, that can help your present situation, that
Yeah.
can help you, walk through something. Because the children are children. Children are the same thing, whatever level they are. Their principles are the same. I found it so, as in before, my children will have school projects. I'll be the one doing the project. I'll do everything, up to pasting on the book. This time I told my son, I said, it's your project. If they gave you the project, it means you can do it. So go and Google things,
That's
download the documents, email them to me. I'll print it for you from the office. But when I get back, you cut it up, you stick it on, and you can submit it. It's your project. My smallest son, they told him, draw King and Abel. I said, what do you think, King and Abel? I said, there are two brothers. I said, so what will you draw? I said, I'll draw two boys. I said, draw two boys. He drew it as he could. He came back with 5/5. I said, because your teacher knows that that's what you can draw. If I drew it for you, they will not give you 5/5. So, but you need to do it yourself. Think it through. Teach them how to do what they need to do. So, it's the principles for me. I keep on saying it. It's the principles. I sat with my oldest daughter the other day. She's almost 15. She'll be 15 in a few months. And I sat with her and I said, my darling, I failed you. I am going through a course right now that has taught me the things that I should have taught you, but I haven't. I have made mistakes. But guess what? When you know better, you do better. I know better now, and I pledge to do better. However, I need you to work with me so that we get you to where you will be, where you're supposed to have been, if I have been doing the right thing. I need you to trust me that whatever I do is out of love for you and out of getting you to be the best version of yourself. She was looking at me like, is it this mommy that used to shout, come and do what I said you should do because I said so? Is it this mommy that is actually admitting that she has made mistakes? She told me, yes, you have. In fact, in the beginning of this inner section, she told me, when I said, come and do this, and say, Mommy, it's too late. It's too late, forget it. I'm too set in my ways, you can't change me. That's what she used to say. Now she's the one that I opened up and I said, this is where we are. We have to do something. We can't say because we made mistake, we're just there. A firstborn most of the time is the mistake, is the one that you are doing guinea pig for. You don't know everything. You're learning as you go. So I humbly told her, this is where I am. I found out the mistakes I've made, but we have to correct it. So when I tell you this thing, please listen to me. And I explain to her the whys of everything. We talk it through. And she's like, Mommy, why can't I keep my phone? Why can't I have my phone with me? All my friends have their phones with them during the week. And I said to her, because we need focus time for study during the week. If you can focus from Monday to Friday, on Saturday, I'll give you your phone. Nothing I'm doing with it. I've already accepted that you can have a phone at 14, so you will have it. But let us agree that we have focus time. Remember, we are trying to get our grades to a certain level. She's the one that came and brought me a book that she wants to go to school abroad. I said, you have to pass now. I mean, they don't take children just like that. So there are certain ways we're targeting. So because of that, this is what we're doing. So when you have a why, when you explain them, when they catch the vision, they will go with it. You don't need to chase. That's the principle that I learned, even with the smallest ones. Yoma, why are we doing this? Yoma, because of this and that, and that's what we're trying to get. So, okay, I got it, Mommy. And he's going. So it's the principles that I learned from the inner circle. It's even helping me in my own life, with my own subordinates at work. I'm able to explain the principles to them and they're taking it and they're running with it. I said, the guy that started working with them, they just said, Madam, I really enjoy working with you. And I was like, hey, manager of the year. Because it's the principles. It's the principles. Human beings are the same, whether as children or as adults or everything. It's the principles. So as you enter the inner circle, open your eyes, open your ears, listen to the unsaid things, listen to the things, the layers. I'm always writing when coach is talking. If you see my notes, I have a write, I can come back and read it again. Say, hey, this is what she was saying here. Because
Brenda is a writer.
I'm an efiko. You know what they call efiko? Those are people that are in school.
She's a bookie like us.
I like book. So when my daughter was getting 9 Fs, I was traumatized. Like, who born you? My own child. But I had to tell myself that it wasn't about me, right? This child is not me. And this mistakes, whatever it was, I had to remove myself from the equation, remove my pride from the equation. I say, okay, so what? Your child has failed. So what? Moving, according to coach, nobody has died.
Nobody died. Nobody died.
It's moving forward, new. My husband was like, how can you have this kind of result? I said, you didn't even see the worst one. When they sent most improved, it was like, she couldn't have been the most improved. I said, because we hid results from you. I brought out my receipts. I said, look at what she had in first term. Look at second term. Look at our result. And I said, because I knew that, if he had known, he would have maybe been, every time he sees her sitting there in front of TV, he would shout, you are getting sitting where you have 9 Fs, be dampening her confidence the more. So I needed to work with. I said, it's me that has this knowledge. Let me use this to my best advantage. So I got the information from him. When it was on time and nothing, I look at what we've done. And I said, oh wow, God bless you, my wife. I said, come and join me in that circle.
Thank you so much
for two of us.
Thank you so much, Architect. This is so amazing, this story. I want to be here sharing, listening to Brenda share her stories, share her journey. And I'm also sure that you want to be here listening to us. Remember that you can catch replay of this session right on our YouTube channel, wherever it is that you're watching. And remember that you can share this with parents all over around you. All right, for the parents who are in doubt, all right, we've decided that we're going to bring our testimonies out. We're no longer just keeping it, just in the inner circle. We're going to bring these testimonies out for you to see, for you to hear, for you to learn what is happening. A parent said something that struck me, and the parent said to me, Coach, this is not about you. So you cannot say, I don't want to tell people about the inner circle. It's not about you. This whole mandate is not you. And I agree absolutely with it, because the TIP mandate is bigger than who I am. It's bigger than everything about me, because sometimes I see people share their stories, humbling. I was in Lagos and I saw a couple share the story about their marriage, how the inner circle transformed their marriage from being, from having a scattered marriage to having an amazing home. They were on their knees and they said to me, you don't understand, Coach.
It changes you.
I really don't understand. That's the truth. I just sometimes, and I look at some reviews shared to me, it actually brings me to tears. I'm like, what are they? What is happening here? And that's why I always say that the curriculum in the inner circle has the breath of the Holy Spirit in it. I am not even going to take credit for it, and it's something that, many of the times I think I'm frozen again. Sorry. Many of the times we sit down and we're able to actually get, one of my pastor friends, Pastor Mosiri, will say, some things are caught, some things are taught. He said, Wendy, you caught what you teach.
You got this one, though. You got this one.
And to be sincere, sometimes I teach and I listen to myself. When they say the grace that is upon something, and I tell myself, when you need to go and find the grace that is upon.
Network, you're frozen out.
When you look at the parent coach, and then you, the parents, we move back.
I think it's frozen again.
Okay, so sorry about that. I think it was my network. Okay, so
is it raining in Abuja? What's going on?
The weather is a bit funny. All the internet connectivities are a bit shaky this morning. All right. Okay. And my husband would say to me, so Coach has spoken. Can I have my wife? Let us go and do what he has said. And then he brings, his notes and said, this is what Coach said that we should not. And I'm looking at him with one eye, like this guy is trying to fight me. But he helps us, do a lot of implementation. My husband is a marriage coach. When he's done with classes, I will say, that's how my marriage counselor said we need to do something that is fun today, and many of the times I run in that way, and it helps us to actually be able to run. So I've also learned to step away from me and begin to now look at me as, the person who is also learning from this mandate. So I look at it as a mandate. I don't look at it as a when you look is, brain knowledge and all of that. No. It is a mandate that is actually given. Now, how do you know that a mandate is given to you? It's simple. The testimonies that come from it gives you that assurance that it is no longer you. You begin to understand. I was sharing with the parents in the inner circle in level 3, and I said to them, something happened to me. A parent, one of the fathers in the inner circle, came to me before he joined the inner circle, spoke to me, insulted me, said a lot of things. And I said to them, me, in my normal vein, you cannot insult me like that, though. It's not possible. How?
When your mouth is not cut.
They were like, Coach. I said, no. I said, it's not. So when I spoke, it wasn't me speaking. I've actually gotten to that place where it's not just me that speaks. I asked Yada yesterday, I said, do you have any question for me? She said, Coach, you don't understand. Before I have a question, you send a voice note in the morning. My answers are in that voice note.
Absolutely.
And she said it and it struck me. So many of the times you don't even, so Etima said yesterday, it's not just parenting we are learning in the inner circle. We're learning relationship with others. We're learning husband, we're learning wifing, Yeah, yesterday, talking
Everything.
to a father, and I said, "This is what you need to do." She said, "He's very angry." I said, "Calm down, sir." When he now came to me yesterday, he now said, "Coach, I've done what you said." He walked, and it was quite interesting when he said it. He said, "Coach, I've done that thing. That thing you said, it really, really worked, and I'm running with it." He agreed. I was like, "You see?" Say, "Coach, in fact, don't worry. When you come, I'm going to give you a gift." I was laughing when he was saying it. So so it's
it's
just that's what the inner circle offers you. All right.
it's all
So you
round
wanted to say
development,
something, Brenda?
all round. Yeah, I said it's all round
Yeah.
development. Even yourself, you see the change in your own self. You see the change in yourself, and you see the change in your marriage. You see the change in your children. You see the change at work, even in the way you do business. You will just be wondering, what has changed about me? It's all around development. That's why I said it's completely. You're right. It's the hand of the Holy Spirit is on it. Me, I know that it was the Holy Spirit that sent me here, so I don't even take anything here like a joke, because how I managed to come across that announcement for that conference that day, it was literally the day before the conference that I saw it. It was literally the day before.
Wow.
If I'd seen it one day later, it would have been too late. So, and I'd
Wow.
never heard of, I wasn't in the group or anything at that time. I don't know where, maybe some random WhatsApp message, I saw it. So it was totally planned. And when I got there that day, I was broken pieces like this. I was like, okay, Lord, I hear you. It's okay, lower your voice. I've heard.
Thank you, thank you, thank you again. And that is how you're going to share this message. And you don't know who God is going to use you for the person. I'm sure the person that Brenda saw the post from, they probably just shared it randomly. You know how you just share these
Right.
things to your friends and family, and it
Mm,
comes out to become a blessing. Thank you again, Brenda, for your time. You know
you're
that I
welcome.
particularly love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for following, and thank you for trusting that we can be part of your intentional parenting journey. See you again
Thank
in the
you.
yard.
See ya.
Righty.
Bye.
So, for those of you who are still here listening to me, one of the things that you must pay attention to is how you're going to walk your journey. The inner circle is a place for you to be. We're not saying it because it's, Coach Wendy wants to really talk about, her product and all of that. Yes, giving. But then again, of course, when a product is valuable, you see, where people actually come out. There's nobody who gets into the inner circle that doesn't tell you that the inner circle is a game changer for them. And for me, that's actually a very rewarding thing. Somebody said it makes you to become born again. You will learn about your spiritual life in a different way, and it will wow you. All right. If you want to be part of the inner circle, you have the details right on my screen, and you also have the number of the team to reach out to them. All right. Thank you so much for sharing your story, Brenda. Thank you to Etima. Tomorrow we're going to have Coach Ebuka share his intentional parenting journey. Coach Ebuka, right? All right, Coach Ebuka of the Voice. We have coaches in the intentional parenting. And one of the things that struck me about Coach Ebuka's daughter when I met her recently was how, her assertiveness, her togetherness was just, it just could just be a TIP baby. And yesterday Auntie Tima said something. She said when she did her boot camp, all of the children who got gifts, who performed well, were all children that their parents were in the inner circle. It can't be wrong. We can't be sharing to you something that is wrong. No. And if you're on the waiting list, you're waiting to join, trust me, you have made the best decision ever that you can imagine. See you again at 8:30 tomorrow, where we're going to continue my intentional parenting journey. This has actually been very rewarding for me. Remember, you can catch replay. Remember, you can share to people. Remember, just like Brenda saw this, flyer flinging somewhere, and you could just be that you shared it, and then somebody just catches it. People have told me how they saw the intentional parents, just on people's status, and just decided to look through it just by talking to a friend. Talk to a friend. Talk to someone. You know why? Because even when you finish raising your child properly, the world is out there. That's one of the reasons why I started doing what I do. When friends and family came to me and said, "You're raising your children this way," yes. There's something that we don't know, yes. But when you're done, your children are going to be out there meeting every other child. And I thought of it. And that's why when I go to my children's school in PTA, I offer myself. I offer myself for trainings because I know that my children are going to miss out with those people, in the world. Your bedroom is too small to raise a world changer. Your bedroom is too small for anybody to become. And that's one of the reasons why I do what I do. I do it. I'm doing it so that when my children meet your children out there, they are going to also be meeting people who have been intentionally parented. And then let's flip it back to even why I started my journey. I love leadership a lot. Leadership for me is a pain. And when I see the way our leaders are, people complain. And one of the things I say is that the society is the product of the family. All right. Whatever it is that we see around us, if it's pleasing to you, then continue to parent how you parent. But if it's not pleasing to you, then you realize that you need to step back and do something differently. See you again tomorrow. Oh, see you at 2 p.m. because we're still going to come back to the cathedral at 2 p.m., where we're going to be sharing on raising an independent thinking child. All right. Raising an independent thinking child is one subject that is a core curricula for us in the inner circle. And I've written a book on it, How Raising an Independent Thinking Child. I think this is the most profound book. I don't know. I read that book and I was feeling the book. I read it as an individual. That thing I told you that I take myself out. Yes, I read it as someone who took herself out, not the person who wrote the book. And I'm wondering, how did this all piece together? If you haven't pre-ordered the book, make sure that you do. See you at 2 p.m. when we talk about that topic, and you would really, really, really want to be here. Thank you again for joining us. See you again at 8, all right, tomorrow, where we continue our journey and our conversations. Bye, and hey, see you in the inner circle. Don't hear this. You know what Brenda said? If you need to borrow money to get into the inner circle, borrow. When you get to a point, you make bold, you're sure that when people do that, it changes your life. It changes everything, your finances, your emotions, everything about your life. It's not just a parenting. And I can assure you that. See you and have a good Tuesday. And hey, happy new month. It's November 1st, 2022. My name is Wendy Ologi, and I'm the foremost parent coach in Africa. I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy and author of many, many best-selling parenting books. Proudly Nigerian. Thank you, and see you later.